Alright, so what you already know, Sonic X Generations is coming out in just over a month from now. But you know what's coming in just over 6 hours from now? That's right, Astro Bot, which is universally acclaimed and is basically about to be the best 3D platformer since Mario Odyssey and Spark the Electric Jester 3. Coming to PS5. Why am I bringing this up in a Sonic video? Well, because the non-Sonic channel, I'm going to be covering the game on there. So for those of you who actually give a fuck about Astro Bot and are like, Prem should play Astro Bot, go to the non-Sonic channel because I'll be streaming it tomorrow, okay? So if you want to see that, check that shit out. But back onto the Sonic, which is unfortunate for Sonic because, like, there was no big Mario game this year. They could have had the biggest platformer this year, but now Astro Bot kind of ruined that for them. Anyway, back to the Sonic. We got shit we need to talk about. We got Sonic X Generation shit we need to talk about. We got movie-related shit as well. It's a big day for our Lord and Savior. So we're into all this right now. But subscribe to the channel already. Please make sure to subscribe, okay? So we're gonna start with Sonic X Generations with the most recent news, and then we're gonna get onto some movie shit, and then we're gonna come back to Sonic X Generations for some additional news because there's more shit we need to talk about. So yeah, we're going back and forth like the Aaliyah record. Anyway, let's start with the tweet from the official Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter. It says, a new spin on a familiar land, break free with this new remix of Chaos Island Act 1. So they got a brand new remix for Chaos Island because you know they turned the island from Frontiers into a level in Shadow Generations. So obviously we are going to check out that remix. Now, for the record, this is how Chaos Island usually sounds, the second movement. You know, beautiful ambient music from the island, right? What you would expect. Nice music that fits what's actually being played. You know, it's nice, it's beautiful, it's peaceful, it's serene. If I had a thesaurus, I'd say more words. But what if EDM? Oh god. It's like jungle without the almond breaks. Oh god. The dubstep thrown in as well. And there'll still be an idiot on Twitter who says it's not EDM. There'll be someone that says it's not. There'll be someone. This is not EDM. There'll be someone who says it. It's country then. I don't give a fuck what it is. It could be rock. Anyway, I think the point I was trying to make was that oh look, Digital Foundry just posted Virtually Flawless on Astro Bot. Anyway, like, look, I don't see how this fits Shadow's levels. Like, when did they decide that Shadow needed this? When? Look, I don't hate dance music, okay? Like, the Sonic R soundtrack was fire. But there needs to be a limit on the amount of ear rape in the fucking boost levels. Like, relax. Oh, God. We'll finish the song since you guys love the EDM so much. But, yeah. You guys seem to love it for some reason. 1 minute it was like jungle without the almond break and then mixing in dubstep. Now they changed the drum pattern. Now it sounds like supersonic racing drums. Oh my god. Those soundtrack mods are gonna come in clutch on the PC version. Oh my god, clutch. Clutch as fuck. For the record, this is my favorite movement of Chaos Island, actually, a 6-1. Those of you who watch the shorts, I've been using this on all the shorts. Like, oh, Sega jump scare. Anyway. I like this. I was just gonna say I like that. So anyway, back to the news. Okay, enough of that. We're gonna go to some movie shit. Yeah, people are mad that Rouge named me on in movie 3. Apparently, they're mad about that. They got memes, viral memes. So can I just say, for the record, this is a random like tangent based off like this meme, but I've been seeing some memes on movie 3 after the trailer came out. that been getting serious levels of likeage, 80k, 100k plus. Like, Sonic ain't no. I think people forget how niche Sonic had become in the 2010s. Like, how no one gave a fuck about something like that except the hardcore fan. Like, after Boom, after they really fucked up with Boom and all that, the drought era, like Runners era, people were just not talking about something like that. Like, the biggest thing was Dash, right? Mana didn't even sell that great, neither did Forces. Like, to get these kind of numbers on something that's like a good product, like, I think people forget like how bad the 2010s was in terms of Sonic's reputation. Even in the 2000s with 06 and now, like, they still paid attention to Sonic. They still talked about it like it was big shit. 2010s, that shit was like, ugh. It's not like every game that came out in that era was bad, but just like the clout level of Sonic really dropped, and it's like the movie came and it was just like, oh, a whole new generation was introduced to Sonic, right? People underestimate that shit, but it's real. Anyway, people are saying that Rouge/Amy is in the movie, right? Channel Pop here said, my absolute last gambit, my final reach, if I know anything about blocking a shot, is that there should probably be another subject in that pink circle I placed there. Showing that, like, there's Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, you know, Team Sonic. And then there's space there, which indicates that maybe someone's supposed to be standing there, like an Amy or a Rouge, but I think people are leaning more towards Amy, potentially being in the movie. But maybe they don't want to tell us because they want to surprise us later. Or maybe in the second trailer, like the final trailer, something like that. Someone else is also pointing it out. Like, people keep saying that maybe Amy's there. And someone else has posted another one. A whole ass weird empty spot next to Sonic with an almost scrubbed out shadow. I might be losing it. Or I might not be losing it, sorry. So you can see they're saying that someone's been scrubbed out of that shot there. And potentially this is scrubbed out as well. Like, maybe it looks a bit grainier here if you look at the quality compared to like outside of that area. I don't want to like put the tinfoil hat on, but at the end of the day, like, Amy being in the movie is not that ridiculous considering her role in SA2. I can see them leaving out Rouge because for Rouge to be important to SA2, you kind of have to have the whole evil thing, like the Team Dark. So like working with Eggman, or at least the tension with Knuckles. Well, you could have the tension with Knuckles, but will there be enough space in this movie for tension with Knuckles when Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are fighting Shadow and there's potentially Amy? I don't know. So there's a lot going on, but I'll be surprised if one of those two doesn't make it into the movie. And this one shows the same picture again, and then also shows Forces. I think this is where the avatar went in the trailer, but wasn't there before. I don't know. Right, look, I'm not going to sit here and say it's not possible. I think it's definitely possible that Amy still makes the cut. Given her role in the end of SA2, I think it's possible. Because they're not going to give her a whole movie on her own. She's not like like Knuckles was the main character of movie 2, aside from obviously Sonic. Shadow's going to be the main character of movie 3. You know, they're not going to give Amy movie 4. Movie 4 is going to be either Silver or Metal Sonic. Those are the two options, right? Where else are they going to go, right? Unless, like, what else are they going to do? Like, Sonic's major rivals are Knuckles, Silver, Shadow, Metal Sonic. The rivals that are in Sonic Rivals on the PSP are Sonic's biggest rivals, basically. So we're doing Knuckles, we've done Knuckles, we're doing Shadow. It's left of Silver or Metal Sonic. So Amy's not going to get her whole movie, so she might as well be squeezed into the SA2 movie, unless they're going to have a spin-off ready for her or something like that. I don't know. Or a Knuckles spin-off that has Amy in it, or... Look, we'll see what happens at the end of the day. I'm looking forward to the movie. It's going to be solid. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if it'll beat movie 2, though. Movie 2 was pretty good. We'll see. But anyway, back to Sonic X Shadow Generations. Gamer Guide, he told me this a while back, but, you know, now he's covered it. Apparently, I'm not going to show you the whole video. You can watch Gamer Guide's video if you want to get the full spiel. But basically, the rumor or the leak that he's going from his insider, take with a grain of salt, is that Ian Flynn is rewriting Generations story, base Generations, to make it, I guess, not as meta-era mid. So that would be interesting. Apparently, Amy's not going to be cheerleader Amy. She's going to be girl boss, modern Amy. For those of you who like or dislike that, that's something to take note of. So there's going to be changes to the characterization because obviously Ian Flynn's writing it. Apparently they're going to redub it because if you're rewriting the story, you're going to have to redub it. Usually a redub would piss me off because, you know, you're redoing voices from an old game that's being re-released. But it's meta era anyway, so you're going from mid to mid. You know, I mean, Tails will sound good either way. Kate Higgins sounded good. Was Kate Higgins in Gens? Colleen sounds good, so I'm fine with that. Knuckles' voice is going to be worse because Travis Willingham is better than the current Knuckles voice. The silver voice of Generations is better than the silver voice we got now as well. If you remember the one from Team Sonic Racing, that's the one I'm thinking it is. Roger is still Roger. You know, it's gonna be a similar quality of voice acting to what you got in Generations, right? So not the greatest for the most part, but as long as the rewrites are good, I mean, I guess I'm fine with it, right? I mean, it's not like Generations story is precious to my soul or anything. I still want to hear Shadow say, "You got this, Sonic." That's about it. But I'm more concerned about whether they actually redo Time Meter or not, because if they leave that mid-ass Time Meter at the end, like ruining like a solid game like Generations with a mediocre boss battle. I've been saying that 3DS Generations had the best Time Meter out of the two. It was a very solid boss. If they could somehow just recreate 3DS Time Meter and put it on the main Generations, that would be perfect, in my opinion. Whether they do that or not, I don't know, but I think that's what I would like to see. But yeah, we got more Sonic X Shadow Generation shit to talk about. This person was talking about how the level design has improved, basically saying this bit in particular makes me think that Shadow Generations presents entirely new 3D Sonic design philosophy to us, which started to become apparent in the original Cyberspace Station Frontiers. It's no longer just boost or just adventure style, but a mix of both, which I don't see how this is entirely new. Like, having these kind of multiple paths has existed. This is kind of like the Sonic 2 level design formula that was also present in like SA2, even Heroes, like this kind of multiple thing, you know. And in terms of the mix of boost and adventure, you could even argue 06 with the way the Mach Speed sections did the kind of boost-esque gameplay. You know, you had that kind of linear, go fast kind of mentality, and then you had the regular levels of the standard platforming. And even Colors was a game, especially compared to Unleashed and Gens, which were heavily boost. Colors was kind of like, we still got the boost, but still slow it down, still don't use it all the time, still do other things like platform. Just that it was confined to 2D, because, you know, budget cuts or whatever. So I don't think this is new per se, but it doesn't have to be new, because, you know, it ain't about who did it first, it's about who did it right. At the end of the day, if it's an old formula, but it's well executed, that's all that matters. So far, the level design in this level seems pretty solid. I already gave my critiques in the live stream in terms of, like, automation or maybe not enough combat or not enough true 3D platforming because they use the homing attack as a crutch in a lot of these sections. But aside from that, the levels are looking pretty solid. I'm looking forward to, you know, the rest of the game, of course. What is this posted? Games Radar said Shadow the Hedgehog is not Vegeta in any way and not friends with Sonic, his creator says. The creator being, of course, Father Zucador. It says here, he has shut down the comparisons of his dark hero and Dragon Ball's Vegeta, knowing that he's not that kind of character and doesn't want him to be. Now, to those who actually know who Vegeta's character is like, they probably understand this better than I do, because I'm only a person that watched a little bit of Dragon Ball as a kid and hasn't really watched it much since. So, I know that Sonic based a lot of things on Dragon Ball because people have said it so many times, but I can't really go into the nitty-gritty of that. But Izuka is, I guess, talking about Shadow and what Shadow is supposed to be. And yeah, I guess Izuka's not going to come out of the woodworks and say, we are copying Dragon Ball, because that sounds stupid, right? He's not going to say that shit. But yeah, he's saying he's not Vegeta, you know. What does it say? Vegeta really starts out as an enemy and then later becomes a friend and an ally, kind of like fights for justice, trying to save the world or whatnot. That's kind of like what Knuckles does, right? If anything, Knuckles is like the rival turn friend, not really Shadow. Shadow is not like that. I never wanted to be like that. Shadow is doing his own thing. He's not friends with Sonic. He's gonna go off and, you know, do whatever he feels is correct or right, or what he needs to do. And it's not like, well, okay, we used to be enemies, but we're friends now. Let's save the world. He's not that kind of character, and I don't want him to be that kind of character. So Izuka actually understands Shadow's character, it seems, because sometimes you be feeling like Izuka don't be understanding the character, or whoever don't be understanding the characters. So when people are always online saying, oh, it's Vegeta, it's like, no, it's not Vegeta. Perhaps Shadow Generations, the upcoming third song, we might be able to set the record straight for good, but for the time being, just know that Sonic Team definitely doesn't see Shadow as Vegeta. Thanks for clearing that up. And these people here, Sack News, have done, I think, a roundup of a bunch of like interviews. So regarding Sonic X Shadow Generations, it says learn new details about Sonic X Shadow Gens and the future of the franchise from a roundup of Izuka's interviews for Polygon and VGC. So Izuka-san confirmed that the canon of Shadow the Hedgehog is intact. Does he mean the canon of Shadow the Hedgehog is in the game from 05? The return of this enemy is solely due to the Time Eater's intervention. Okay, so it's kind of like No Way Home. Like, just take the villain from there and like pluck him out or some shit like that. I don't know. When asked about Marie's appearance in Shadow Gens, Takashi declined to comment, saying that the team had not yet begun to introduce the story component of the project. What do you mean not like to the public? Like in terms of promotion? Izuka shared that he and the team see memes about Shadow and other characters being posted online. According to him, this is a good sign as it means people like the characters and the approach to him. Yes, it's a good sign that people like Shadow the Hedgehog, Izuka. It took you 23 years to figure that out, apparently. Like, we weren't sure, but now we've seen some memes, so, like, it seems people do like Shadow. I mean, we were, you know. When asked what sides of Shadow would like to explore in the future, he said, ever since SA2, we haven't really explored that evil Shadow presentation of the character. He's always been on a different kind of spectrum, but maybe in the future it'll be interesting to come back and revisit Shadow being not so nice, maybe even as far as evil. Next, he stated that Child Garden will only return in Sonic Adventure 3 if that game ever releases. Bro just said Child Garden not how he said it's not happening. He said it's coming with SA3. So basically, the shit not happening. This is an interesting statement considering that not too long ago, Takashi-san claimed that the team is well aware of the high level of requests for this aspect of the game. Wasn't there a leak from Midori saying we're gonna get a mobile Sonic game that had a Child Garden in it? Like, and Midori was getting some shit right with the Sonic phone game leaks and shit, so is that still in the works? Are they just not including that because it's a measly phone game? I don't know. It says here, when asked about the presence of Chaos Island, a location Shadow has never been to, Izuka-san said that since it's a 2024 game and we still got the assets from Frontiers, why the fuck not, right? Well, actually, Izuka said any locations from the games prior to its release could appear in it, which sounds odd. Nonetheless, yeah, pretty interesting. Sonic Shadow Generations is shaping up to be pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Yada yada yada, the same shit I say at the actions of every usual video. What's the verdict? Sonic Shadow Generations looks solid. I hope they fix Time Meter. I hope the story is a lot better in base generations. I hope the Shadow Generation story is good as well. I hope the level design gets more challenging in the later levels of Shadow Generations. Mods for the soundtrack. Mods for the voice acting. We'll need mods, but you know, it is what it is. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. More content coming soon to the channel. Let me know what you guys think about the game so far. Do you think Amy/Rouge or Rouge will make it into movie 3? But yeah, man, that's all I have to say right now. So, Premy out.